long history when it comes to multimedia. Now whether it's the optical media like Blu-ray disc, DVD, or to play those discs, the Blu-ray drives, 3D Blu-ray drives, the gaming consoles like PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, or the HD TVs, or the high fidelity audio devices, even the headphones, Sony has always been ahead of the curve. Now the reason for this is that Sony always had a soft corner when multimedia was concerned. Yes, lately Sony kind of shifted its focus from multimedia. I'll discuss about it in my upcoming videos. But today I will review and discuss about a product from Sony which I believe is the most unique product ever made by them. And it's actually kind of a product which no other company has ever made. I mean, they attempted to make it, but they never made that product as good as what Sony did, as good as how Sony made it. This is the Sony MDR-HW700DS. Now, unlike the standard wireless Bluetooth headphones that you have ever come across that are paired with your device via Bluetooth, they actually kind of work in a different way. Now, Sony claims them to be the 9.1 channel surround headphones. Like, I'm sure this might sound gimmick to you that 9.1 channel surrounds through a headphone. Believe me, when I also heard about them, I thought this will be a gimmick. Like 9.1 channel surround through a headphone is not at all possible. Even if the system is created virtually, you cannot have that kind of 9.1 or even 5.1 channel surround that you get from a home theater. But my thoughts were completely different after using them. Now what are my thoughts? Did I like them or not? How do they sound? Everything about them, I'll discuss about them right now. But first of all, let us come to what's inside the box. On the box, which by the way is a very big box considering that this is box of the pair of headphones, is a picture of headphones and a receiver. The receiver is the main brains here. All the IOs are directed to and from the receiver, and I'll get to that in a minute. On the front side, above the Sony logo, in Japanese language it's written 9.1 channel surround, and then there's written digital surround headphone system. At the bottom side, there are 5 different logos: 4K, 3D, digital wireless, 9.1 channel in Japanese, and HD. 4K and 3D on headphones? I'll get to that in a minute. On the right hand side, all the formats that it supports are written. Well, the formats that receiver supports. As I have said, receiver is the main brains here. The receiver can decode almost all the high definition and standard definition audio formats, ranging from Dolby True HD, Dolby Digital Plus, Dolby Digital, DTS HD Master Audio, DTS HD High Resolution Audio, DTS Digital Surround, even multi-channel AAC, and also linear PCM from 2.0 to 7.0. And then the technology that they use, VPT, Virtual Phone Technology, and the HDMI. At the back of the box, all the mechanisms and how to connect them and how to make them work is written. And then all the formats that it supports are also written. Now, on the left side, there are different Wi-Fi frequencies it supports. It does support both 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz frequencies because of the large amount of data that they have to carry. The headphones have 50mm HD driver. The different modes that they have: cinema, game, and voice. The 30-meter range of these headphones from the receiver, their adjustable ear cups, 12 hours of battery life, and headphones have a USB port, a micro USB port for charging. These are the things that Sony claimed: 12 hours of battery life, 30-meter range, all the things that Sony have claimed. Well, they have also claimed them to be 9.1 channel surround. This is all the stuff that comes in the box, and now let's come to the main thing that I have been blabbering about the whole time: the receiver. And this is the processor that decodes all the high definition audio formats that I have been stated before. Now then, the decoded high definition audio formats are converted into the wireless signal, and then they are fed into the headphones via 5 GHz or 2.4 GHz frequencies of Wi-Fi. Now that's why Wi-Fi is used, because high definition audio formats have very large bitrate of like 5 to 6 megabytes per second. At the back of the receiver there are all the IOs, including 4 USB ports, 1 digital output, and 1 analog port, like 2 analog ports for one left and one right channel. Now, out of the 4, 3 are the HDMI inputs and 1 is HDMI output. Now by HDMI in, I mean that you will be connecting your gaming console, your Blu-ray player and everything to this receiver or the processor, and you will be connecting your TV from this receiver through the HDMI output. Now all these ports are HDMI 1.4. I don't know if they are 1.4A or 1.4B, they can handle the 4K at 30 frames per second. They can also handle 3D audio return channels like Bravia Sync. Then there's also a digital output for bitstream of standard definition audio formats like DTS and Dolby Digital. If you guys have ever come across with the PlayStation 2 or the old DVD players, then you might have seen this digital output. Those players only decoded standard definition audio formats because at the time high definition audio formats were not out. So yeah, if you have an old DVD player or PlayStation 2 system, you can also experience the multi-channel bitstream from them also. These HDMI ports, I forgot to mention, these HDMI ports also support XV color and deep color up to 12-bit. I've never encountered any kind of HDMI handshake with this, or HDCP handshake. If there is any delay with the old titles, then the delay is only of like 1 or 2 seconds. Unlike the UHD Blu-ray releases that have a lot of handshake issues, I have never seen any handshake issue with this receiver. And with this analog port at the behind, you can connect your even old school VCD players or PlayStation 1 system. I don't think anyone will be using those PlayStation 1 system and DVD, VCD players, but we have that functionality too. At the left side of the receiver, you can see the different toggles to toggle the Wi-Fi frequency range from 2.4 GHz to 5 GHz to auto. So which means that if you have a router and your router signals are interfering with the receiver signal, then you can switch them from 5 GHz to 2.4 GHz. So I never had this problem. I only had this problem like very few times, and I didn't have to toggle any settings because it automatically adjusts the setting if it sees any disruption in the signal. And also there is a toggle for switching the audio return channel functionality from model 1 to model 2. Now if you have a Sony TV, then most probably your model 1 will work just fine, but if you have another TV like LG or Samsung TV, then you might have to change the toggle from model 1 to model 2. Now on the top there are 5 buttons. One is the power button at the extreme left to switch it on and off. Then at the right side there are input buttons for switching the input between different sources. Now as I've said, the 3 HDMI inputs, you will be connecting different sources, so you can switch between these sources from this button. You can also pair like up to 4 headphones with this receiver, so which means that like 4 people can enjoy this glory of multi-channel sound headphones. Now all you have to do to pair a new headphone to this receiver is just to bring the exact same headphone near the receiver and just keep holding this ID set button on both, on the headphones and on the receiver, and then they'll get paired. Now remember, this feature is only available in the Japan model, not in the US or UK model. I got this imported from Japan, so I have that functionality. Then there is this button for changing the matrix from Dolby Pro Logic 2 to DTS Neo X. Now I have always kept this on DTS Neo X, but you can switch between the settings and you can select whichever suits you the most. For me, DTS Neo has suited me the most, but I didn't see any huge quality differences between the two. Now these are the 2 different technologies from the 2 different leading companies to create virtual effects from stereo headphones. And then there is this button to turn on and off the compression. So now to the headphones. Their build quality is top notch. Super comfy cushions, mostly metallic and leather finish. Now these are super comfortable. So comfortable that you can actually watch the whole lot of the Rings trilogy or the Hobbit trilogy or even the whole season of Game of Thrones without even taking them off once. The leather kind of has worn off from the top, from where this band touches my head, which is kind of unusual with these expensive pair of headphones. It should not have happened. And at the left is the micro USB input for charging them. A button for changing the matrix method. At the right side there is a volume rocker. It's a wheel based. Then the different buttons for switching the inputs from different sources, like same as found on the receiver. And then there is this special button for navigating the menu. Speaking of the menu, which is pretty straightforward, you can adjust the level of LFE channel, center channel. You can also adjust the AV sync. Like if you experience a lot of input lag in the TV, and then you can like toggle between these settings of AV sync. And now if you will go into the status, in the status it shows the format which receiver is decoding and then the battery level. It's really simple, nothing fancy here. It just gets the work done. And one thing about the menu, it just appears as a side window when you are watching a 2D content, because the receiver does not have to interfere with the input signals so much. But when you are watching a 3D content like 3D Blu-ray or playing a 3D game, and when you like want to check the status that whether the receiver is getting the right signal from your source. Like it can't like interfere with the video signal. So when you press the menu button, the screen just go off and you can navigate and make changes, but you won't see any input. You will only see the menu thing in which you have to change any settings or check the status. And then you press the exit button and then your video signal shows up. Now coming to the most important aspect of the review, the performance. Now clearly, the sound quality is not the only thing that should matter in this expensive and sophisticated pair of headphones. Like there are other things too, like sound surround. Do they actually make any difference, or like they are just the normal pair of headphones? And finally, the most important thing to me, the power of LFE, or how powerful the bass is. I'm a bass lover, and I love those headphones that have a lot of bass and a lot of like low ends in them. And for the reference, I will be using my PlayStation 3 and my MacBook Pro Retina with bootcamp windows to play all the Blu-ray discs and demo files that I'll be showing you. So, number one, the sound quality. Now the 50mm HD driver in these headphones gets the work done. It's not just gets the work done, it gets the work done in a great way. The sound is crisp, the sound is clear. Even in the loosey formats like DTS and Dolby Digital, the sound is just so much lifelike. And number two, this surround sound. The things that they have claimed are not at all gimmick. Not at all. They have a very wide sound stage. Very wide sound stage. So wide that I can actually feel like you're listening to a fully built expensive home theater system in Dolby Atmos or DTS:X format. Like watching in action movies and horror movies or playing action and horror games is the most fun. I remember when I was watching The Conjuring or when I was playing The Last of Us, which is by the way one of my favorite titles and you should also play it. The things I had to take them off like multiple times just to see that is someone behind me or like what's happening, is someone around me.
You suck, Howard!
I also had to check whether the sound is not coming from the display. Like I didn't have to wake my brother. The sound stage of these headphones is better than any entry level or a mid-range home theater system. I just only wish that the center channel had a better sound placement. It almost feels like the sound is coming from my head. Now, it's time for some bass. They have such a heavy and nice bass that these ear cups actually vibrate when the low frequencies are delivered. It's not overloaded or extreme by any means. I have kept the LFE channel to the highest here. Now, while watching movies or playing game, I always wish the bass to arrive and to enjoy those vibrating ear cups. Don't judge me. You won't get that bass from a 2-channel headphone system. Like you ought to have those high resolution multi-channel audio files if you want to enjoy music on these headphones, because mostly the music that we hear is in 2-channel or is in lousy quality. It's not in the lossless quality like movies and games. These headphones do not benefit from those kind of formats. Remember I said that you can watch the whole Lord of the Rings and Hobbit trilogy with them? At that point, I also meant that you don't have to take them off even once. Not even to charge them. Sony claims them to have a 12 hours of battery life, but my experience says that they can easily deliver between 10 to 11 hours of battery life at the max volume and at the max bass. If you keep the LFE channel to the normal and if you like lower your volume a little bit, I'm sure that you will get like more than 12 hours of battery life. And now finally to the verdict, the good and the bad. Now there are a lot of things that are good in these headphones and there are things that are bad, and I think they should have improved them. The list of the bad things is very much less, but we have to discuss it because it's an honest review. Now the good. These are the must-have for movie and game lovers. If you watch a lot of movies and if you play a lot of games and if you want to enjoy the surround system, these are the must-have for you. Number two, they have a very wide sound stage. Very wide. It almost feels like you're listening to a real home theater system. Number three, they handle low frequencies like a charm. The bass is like completely legit here. It's like a complete new experience. And number four, sports each and every audio format available at the time of the release. I'm not talking about now because we have like 2 new audio formats right now which are trending a lot. But at the time of their release, they supported the all audio formats that were available in the market. Number 5, build quality is top notch. Whether it's the metallic or the leather finish, like ignoring that wearing off the leather from my headphones, The build quality is completely perfect. Now the bad. They lack the object-based audio formats like Dolby Atmos and DTS:X. Now, yes, these audio formats were not present when these headphones were released. Number 2, no 4K at 60 Hz, no HDR, no Dolby Vision, no HLG, the hybrid logarithmic gamma HDR system that is yet to be announced. Now these formats were not available when these headphones were released, but they should have been here. Like Sony should release the refreshed model of these headphones with all those HDMI 2.0B formats. That doesn't mean that they are worthless today. Now given this is the age of HDR and Dolby Vision, you can get a UHD Blu-ray player with two HDMI output ports like Oppo UDP203 or Samsung Kia S8500 or LG's or Panasonic's latest Blu-ray players. You get them, you're good to go. Number 3, they are only available in limited market. They are only available in Japan, UK and US. Now I got that from Japan. Since they were imported, I could not claim warranty here, and they could not even repair because this product is not even available here in India. But nothing happens to them. Like Sony has a very good quality control of their product, so warranty is something that you can overrule. Number 4, ability to pair multiple headphones is only available in Japan. Now this should be available in every market because when you buy these headphone system, the receiver can decode and transmit to up to 4 headphones, and you just have to spend half the money and get a new pair of headphones and you're good to go. But no, it's only available in Japan. You have to spend a little bit more money to get the Japan imported version. So there you have it. This is the review of my favorite tech of all time. The best fit solution to the actual big sized home theater system. Now remember, they will not completely take place of your home theater system. But if you're like someone who watches a lot of TV, but you do not want to disturb anyone, and you cannot compromise with the quality, or you do not have enough money to buy the high-end powerful home theater system, then these are the lifesaver. You have to get them. Ever since I have bought them, I have watched like 99% of my movies with them. In fact, I have watched every movie that I've seen in my home. I have watched them through these headphones. I enjoy them so much. These are the must-have for movie and game lovers. Now, do not get them if you just want to listen to music, because as I've said, they do not benefit from those 2-channel audio formats. I rate them like 10 on 10. These are my all-time favorite piece of tech alongside PlayStation 3. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about this product or about this video, you can comment down below. The whole video is shot on HTC 10, edited in 2013 MacBook Pro Retina. Additional footage has been shot on HTC One M8. You can also look me up on Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat, and the links will be in the description, and there will be a link to buy them too. So I hope to see you around in the next video. Peace.
नाइस वीडियो देखो वीडियो पॉज करके देखो